Her uncle promised her education, but he made her a street girl. He had no idea who she would become. At just 18 years old, she thought she was traveling to Lagos for school. But the moment she stepped into her uncle's house, her life changed forever. Not into a student, but into something she never imagined. And the worst part, her parents were proudly telling everyone their daughter was in school. They had no idea their daughter was crying herself to sleep every night. Stay with me, because what this girl became in the end will leave you speechless.
Before we continue, if you believe no child deserves to be betrayed like this, drop a heart in the comments right now. Her name was Amaka, the only daughter of two struggling parents in a quiet village. Her father repaired bicycles. Her mother sold roasted corn by the roadside. They were not lazy people, just poor in a way that hard work couldn't fix. But Amaka, she was different. Teacher said I can become a doctor one day, she once said, smiling. Her mother laughed softly. A doctor? My daughter, that one is for rich people. Amaka shook her head. No, Mama, I will make it. Then one December, everything changed. A car drove into their compound. Clean, shiny, loud. Out stepped Uncle CHINEDU. Expensive shoes, smooth talk, confidence. I came to help, he said. He sat with her parents. I will take Amaka to Lagos, enroll her in a good school. She will live with me. Silence. Hope. Fear. Then her father asked softly,
Really take care of her? Like my own daughter.
That night, Amaka packed her small bag. Her mother held her face tightly. Don't forget us. I won't, Mama. Her father added quietly, Make us proud. She nodded. I will. She meant it. But what was waiting for her in Lagos was not school, not education, not a future. The house was big. Too big, but something felt wrong.
One evening, her uncle called her.
Go and dress up.
For what? She asked. He didn't answer, just gave her a look. That was the first night her life started breaking. She didn't understand. She didn't agree. But she had no choice. And every time she cried, nobody listened. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Each time, go with him. Don't ask questions. Do as you're told. And each time she came back more broken. One night, she whispered to herself, This is not my life. This is not who I am. Then came the night that changed everything. Another man. Another room. But this time, something was different. She sat on the edge of the bed shaking, tears falling nonstop. She quietly made the sign of the cross.
In the name of the Father, the Son.
Wait, what are you doing?
This is not my life. My uncle promised my parents I will go to school.
Amaka, my uncle promised my parents. I will go to school, but he keeps sending me like this. I don't even know who I am anymore. She held her chest. My body hurts, my heart hurts. I just want to go to school. Silence. The man looked at her, really looked at her. For the first time, he saw not a situation, but a human being. And in that moment, everything changed. He stepped back.
I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know.
Please don't hurt me.
I won't.
That night, Nothing happened. Days later, her phone rang. Unknown number. It was him. "Meet me outside," he said. They talked. Carefully. Quietly. A plan began to form. He didn't try to save her like a hero. He did something better. He gave her options. A safe place. A small job. Evening classes. "Start small," he said.
Start small. You don't need permission to rebuild your life.
How?
That night, she wrote one sentence in her notebook. "I am leaving." She left before sunrise. No noise. No goodbye. Just a small bag. And a big decision. That was the last day she lived as a victim. Life was not easy. She worked during the day. Studied at night. Sometimes hungry. Sometimes tired. But never broken again.
You're strong.
No. I just refused to stay where I was dying.
"You're strong," the man told her once. She shook her head. "No, I just refused to stay where I was dying." Years passed. She passed her exams, got admission, medical school, long nights, hard days, but she kept going. If you're still watching, drop "I will rise" in the comments. Because stories like this are not just stories. They are real. At 26, Amaka stood in a white coat. Doctor. Not by luck, not by help, but by fight. But she wasn't done. Because some stories don't end with success. They end with justice. One afternoon, a patient was rushed into the hospital. Weak, sick, broken. She checked the file, then froze. Uncle CHINEDU. Her hands paused. Memories rushed back. Pain, tears, dark nights. He looked at her, struggled to recognize her.
Please help me.
I will treat you.
"Doctor, please help me." She took a deep breath. Steady, calm, professional. I will treat you, she said. And she did. With excellence. With dignity. Because her revenge was not destruction. It was becoming everything he tried to take from her. Some people will try to break you, use you, silence you, but they don't decide your ending. You do. Moral lessons 1. Not everyone who offers help has good intentions. Some people will come into your life with promises, but hidden motives. Always be careful who you trust with your future. 2. Your beginning does not decide your ending. Amaka was broken, used, and abandoned, but she still rose. No matter where you start, you can rewrite your story. 3. Silence is not weakness. She didn't fight loudly. She didn't seek revenge immediately. She rebuilt herself quietly. Sometimes the strongest move is to grow in silence. 4. Education is power nobody can take from you. Everything was taken from her. But once she gained knowledge, she became unstoppable. Invest in your mind. It's your greatest weapon. 5. Kindness can change a life. One man chose empathy instead of taking advantage. A single act of kindness can redirect someone's destiny. 6. Real revenge is success. She didn't destroy her uncle. She became greater than him. The best revenge is becoming everything they said you couldn't be. 7. Never stay where you are being destroyed. The moment she decided to leave, her life changed. Sometimes walking away is the beginning of freedom. 8. Your worth is not defined by your situation. They treated her like she was nothing, but she was always valuable. Never let your circumstances define your value. They tried to use her, but they didn't know. They were pushing her into becoming something unstoppable. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs strength today. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might change your life too.